morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wow, look at the wonderful, beautiful people on here. Miss Jones, good morning out there in South Carolina. I like your background with AC and all on the wall. I love it. I love it. I want some more of it. Wow, 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 wow. Man, oh, I got the wrong shirt on. I got my bank shirt on. I used to be on the board of directors. Thought I jumped in my AC shirt. I was running around because I was on the phone going crazy here for a few minutes. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining the call this morning. I'd like to thank Mr. Julian Lewis, Regional Director. What a wonderful job you did on Tuesday, sir. Monday, everybody remember Monday? Where's your teacups for Monday? Everybody, where's your teacups? Miss Joyce Brewer, I see you got yours. Look at them, you guys. If you missed Monday, go back and listen to it because Boss Lady dropped the mic on us on Monday. She dropped it on us. And I'm telling you what, it was a powerful call. Tuesday, Mr. Julian Lewis talked about consistency. Wow. Did he drop the mic or what? Consistency. And yesterday, we had who on the call? We had Vivid Home Office on the call yesterday. Wow. And today, we got another young man. I'll introduce him in just a second, but good morning, Miss Belinda Belize. Good morning, Mr. Andy Ramos of Woodland. Hey, guys, I'm praying for you guys in California, those fires out there. I'm telling you what, we've had them here in Vegas, and this, oh, my God, we finally got a clear day. Hey, Bill Howard, thank you so much for joining. Mr. Brian Baker, Regional Director in Las Vegas. Miss Darlene Evans in South Carolina, Regional Director on the call. Man, Miss Celia in Woodland, California. Good morning. Mr. Chris King, Regional Director. And Miss Rose Guerrero, I'd like to give a shout out. They just had their 14th year anniversary was yesterday. Can we give them a hand? 14-year anniversary yesterday. God bless you both. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Got a beautiful, lovely bride, some flowers. I love it. Mr. Curtis Evans in South Carolina. Good morning, sir. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And they also hit 200 points. That's correct. So let's give the Kings a hand for hitting 200 points. 20% residual. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. On all their customers. That's powerful. Mr. Dave Culver, the professor. Good morning, sir. Miss Dominique Young, my favorite school teacher out in Nashville, Tennessee. Good morning. Mr. Edmund Smith. Good morning, sir. Freddie Sherman, good morning. Miss Heather, ooh, good morning. Mr. Ismail, ¿qué pasó, señor? Hey, there you go, there you go. Love his smile. Mr. Jeremy Lush out in Nashville, good morning, sir. Good having you on the call. Oh my God, everybody. We have Regional Vice President, Miss Jocelyn Driscoll joining us. Good morning, dear. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Miss Heather. Good morning, good morning. Regional Director, Mr. Marvin Carter in Fresno, California. Good morning, sir. I see your wonderful sister, Marcia Carter, on the call this morning. Good morning. Maria, good morning. Thank you so much. Miss Pat Robinson in Oakland, California. Thank you so much. Wow, Mr. Lance Wittenberg, sir, good morning, and congratulations. He's got 2 new IBOs yesterday, last night, 2 new IBOs in his business. 2 new IBOs in the business. God bless you. Congratulations. So get them on Friday night. We're going to be highlighting them. A lot of new IBOs this week. Good. God bless y'all. Hey, listen, we got a great call lined up. Great call lined up. Great call lined up. Let me tell you about our guest speaker. I mean, what a week we had. Like I said, Monday with the T, Tuesday with the consistency, yesterday with Vivid Home Office on the call. Today is Thursday, and then tomorrow we got Mr. Michael Crowder, Senior Vice President out of Florida. Anyway, but today, this young man is we know him very well. He's not a stranger to us. He lives in the greater Houston area. Look at, you already know. Yes, he's 56 years old. He told us he's a business owner. He worked in corporate America for great part of his life. He's been married to the same beautiful woman for 34 years. And he said a couple of points that was really profound. He says the greatest time to be an ACN is right now. And he said, number 2, always reinvent yourself. And number 3, he said, faith is the key. And number 4, pain of change versus progress of change is painful, but progress is successful. So without further ado, can we give a great round of applause to my dear friend, Mr. Dwight Williams out of Houston, Texas. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to be here.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. How are you doing?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I got to give Miss Ismail a good morning because Regional Director Miss Natasha Ismail will hang me if I don't. So good morning. And also Mr. Sergio down in Mexico tuning in with us. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. And also Mr. Payon in Japan, his lovely wife, Miss Konohara on Japan. So I got to give those folks a little props out there. That's on the other side of the world on our call. Good morning, sir. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Good morning to everybody. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning, Mr. Thomas?
Man, I'm doing fine as frog hair split 5 ways and sandpapered. That's real fine.
That is really fine. Let me tell you.
Like, what was that again? Frog hair split 5 ways and man, that's real fine. Yeah, it is real fine. Good morning,
well,
sir.
everybody. I think I have to first of all thank Mr. Thomas for inviting me to this call. But because I'm gonna tell you, it is a privilege to that you guys even come to see these calls because yes, the truth be told, if you ask me, I've just simply lived a really blessed life, and so to try and take credit for any of the stuff is a hard thing for me to do. And for me personally, I prefer to keep living a blessed life. I personally love to just keep it that way, you know, and not take credit for anything. I have a partner of mine, my business partner. Me and him laugh all the time. He says, you know, he says when he started off, him and God had a talk, and God told him, says, hey, now I can't share I'm not gonna share any of my glory with you. You can't take none of the credit. He was like, I can't have none of the credit, God. He said, nope, you can't take any of the credit. He says, oh, let me see. He said, but you can have all the money. You can have all the money, but I got to have all the glory. He said, oh, I'm good. If I can have all the money, you can have all the glory. You can have all the credit. So, it is a privilege and an honor to be here. And so, and listening to the lineup of speakers, young people and gentlemen and women who have done incredible things in the business already, who have incredible careers and things they've already achieved. You know, this is a tough act to follow right here. Let me tell you. So, you know, I needed to be on Monday, not Thursday. So, to be following these people, it's gonna be. I don't know what I'm gonna say right now. But I'm really glad to be here. And again, for those of you who may not know me, I'm Dwight Williams. I live in Houston. I'm an fairly old guy. And yes, and my success is due to my wife. She's not here, so I don't need her to hear that. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys that. But I can't ever tell her that. I don't want her to get the big head and think she's in control right now. I'm just teasing. But yes, she and I have been married for 33 years, going on 34 years. And I was, you know, interesting thing. She and I were just sitting here. And my daughter was just with us almost 6 weeks, and she and my daughter are very, 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 very close. And I was telling her, even now, you and I got to become better friends, going to, you know, different stages in our lives. And we got to be thinking this next stage is going to be a different stage than any stage we've been in. And as I'm actually talking to you guys, I'm talking to her and planning the next stage of our lives. I'm sitting here, and she and I have been doing this for many months now, matter of fact, years. And because this transition has been multiple years. And so I'm seeing significant transitions going into the next year, just like Mr. Thomas. And people like us, you, he, I, all of us, we are constantly thinking about the change. We're always changing and evolving and getting better. I did talk to Mr. Thomas the other day, and you'll be pleased to know my partner and I have been going out to pawn shops, talking to these guys, or coin shops, talking to these guys about coins. Why? Because you got to know the times that you live in. And so, interesting thing, I was at the bank the other day, and I'm just talking to you right now. And I was at the bank the other day, and I watched a gentleman walk in and ask the bank for silver coins. Interesting. I was, and I thought to myself, and they actually sold him silver coins. And And I thought to myself, no, don't want to buy it here. Mr. Thomas told me to go to the coin shop and even then talk to these guys. And so that's what we've been doing. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I always think about the circumstances and the situations. I remember as a young guy, I'll tell you a quick story. I remember as a young guy, I was traveling a lot, traveling worldwide, all over, and I was never home. I was gone almost every week. I came back on Fridays and I left on Sundays. And I had built a brand of a company called Software Integration, and you never know what you have until often after the fact. And so I had trained a lot of people all over the world and consulted with even more. And so I remember so much so I was in Gatwick Airport in the UK, and I was transitioning between flights, and a young man came up to me and said something. He said, "Bad magic." Bad magic was a term that I would use anytime I was teaching. So imagine me, a kid from the US traveling in the UK, and I'm in the airport, thousands of people. Guy walks up to me and discusses something. He's been in one of my classes. So the brand was huge, but circumstances changed, and that's one of the things I wanted to bring up. And my company had a challenge that it was faced, and I was in the middle of working out a deal with a company that was looking to buy us. The circumstance I found myself in panicked me. I was young. I had no idea what I was doing. And let me tell you guys, the biggest challenge and the thing I admire about you guys more than anything is that I didn't have mentors. In my circle, and that's my fault. It's nobody's fault but my own. My circle I didn't have access to individuals that could advise me at that time. My favorite book, the Bible says that in a multitude of counsel there is safety, and so I didn't know then that the most important thing I could have been doing is identifying individuals who were like Mr. Thomas says all the time, doing what I wanted to do, or living the life that I aspired to live, was to surround yourself, because you become the sum total of the 5 people that you're being advised by. I didn't know that. And so I was figuring this stuff out on my own. Well, let me tell you something. There are only 2 ways to advance. And the first one is the worst one, is by having your own personal experiences. Because in your own experiences, you learn by trial and error. That is not the best way to advance, I assure you. It is the most painful way to do it. The second way, as I forget his name, it's a minister that says his book is, he talks about Solomon. The second way is a trusted advisor. Now, trusted advisor that is the most efficient way. That's the difference between you drinking the sour milk and are you observing the guy that already drank, which would be me now, who already drank the sour milk, and just saying, hey, is that milk any good or not? Now, the dumbest guy is the guy that even after asking me, is the milk any good, he goes and he still drinks it anyway. So but the smartest way is to learn from other people's experiences. And so trusted advisor is an interesting word. Of course, advisor, meaning you get advice from him, is crucial because he saves you from mistaken experiences. But the key is trust. The key word in that phrase is trust. And I say this all the time, trust accelerates everything. See, when I don't trust somebody, I check everything they say. That slows everything down. So when I surround myself by people who have proof that I know are trustworthy, meaning that circle of individuals that I've surrounded myself, I have made a conscious decision to observe them, know that I can trust them, and I don't spend a lot of time checking everything they say. By doing that, I accelerate my path. So after I had that experience with my company, just so you know, I decided to sell that company. And I sold that company at a loss. I took a loss on that company. That company, just so you know, they're still benefiting from that brand today. I didn't get any benefit on that brand because I reacted in a moment and I panicked. Never panic. And so these are the things we want to talk about. And as a result of that mistake, all of the value that I had taken years to build, I ended up losing. And somebody else benefited from it. Now, whose fault is that? Is it their fault? Did they take it? And see, this is the relationship to things that I always observe. Did they cheat me? Did they? No, they didn't. They didn't force me to sell it. I sold it. They didn't. It's not their job to value my company. That's my job to value it. It was my job to take the offer or not take the offer. These were all my choices. Now, to be angry with them because they're getting value from a brand that I created, but I made the decision to sell the brand at a discount. That was my decision. So it's nobody's fault. If any fault, it's my own. And so, and I don't spend a lot of time looking back at that decision. I just learn from it and I make sure I don't do it again. That's the only thing I do. Other than that, I won't spend much time in the past thinking about it. I just make sure, because the only failure that I can have is not to learn from the experience. Other than that, to have done that experience and to still be living in the past of that experience would be a mistake. Now, that takes me to the conversation about where we are. As Mr. Thomas mentioned earlier, we have to know we live in the most opportune time this planet has ever seen. You have to know that. The options that you have available to you, they weren't available to our parents. They weren't. These options that we have, that we live under right now, they were not available. Here's the other thing for you to note, and I've said this before. The area that you exist in right now, which is marketing and sales, can never be commoditized. Everybody hearing this conversation about robotics and artificial intelligence? You're hearing that. The traditional workforce on this planet, not in America, but on the planet, is panicking, and they should be, because it is the necessity of progress to continue to erode the bottom. Now, what does that mean? How can we progress if we keep holding on to old stuff? We can't, because eventually that stuff becomes an anchor. Well, how do we replace it? Well, robotics is progress. AI is progress. Now, we begin to have conversations about, well, hey, but it could be evil. The computer can be used for any number of positive and negative things. Does that make the computer inherently evil? It does not. It's nothing wrong with it's wrong with it. What's wrong with it's using the people that are using it. So AI is going to introduce incredible new opportunities. Robotics are going to create incredible new opportunities. But what you're going to discover is the thing that will become more and more valuable is the human mind. Our ability to think, our ability to market something, our ability to create value in the marketplace for people who are looking for that value. That mindset will never be commoditized. I was talking to somebody just yesterday, and I was talking about the difference I was talking to my son actually, and we were talking about the difference between, he was talking about game systems, and I began to tell him about Microsoft and Apple. I'm a Microsoft guy. And, you know, of course, these millennials are all Apple, you know, this fruit company people. Yeah, I'm not going to even get into that. That's a whole different conversation. But the point I was making is, if ever I observed the genius, was Steve Jobs. Well, the rest of the world was talking about, hey, how many of you remember taking your mom or your grandma to the store and talking to her about, and she's saying, hey, honey, I need you to help me pick out a computer because I don't know what I'm doing when I'm dealing with these computers, to today. Anybody can walk into a store right now and buy a computer. Why? Because this guy presented the same thing a different way. Now, nobody, how many times has your loved one asked you to help me pick a cell phone? They don't. Why? Because the way he presented his products is very different than what we used to do. We used to pick, how much RAM do I need? How much storage do I need? How fast? What kind of processor I need? He doesn't care about this. He said, do you want the 8? You want the 6? You want the 9? You want the 11? Which one you want? Because he simplified it. It takes thought to simplify things. The smartest people don't make things complex. Smartest people make things simple. Now, what am I talking about right now? Because I really want to hone in on the ACN opportunity. Fear is the thing that caused me to make the decision that I made. It also blinded me to the opportunity that I had. I couldn't see the brand in my company. I didn't see the value that I had in the palm of my hand when I had created it. But because I was scared, fear or my perspective blinds us to the things that we have, and we often can't see those things. I would challenge you to really pay close attention to the opportunity that you have before you. The gentleman that this group is associated with, Mr. Thomas, has lived a life because he saw the value of this opportunity. And I do as well. I think the ACN opportunity is second to none. It's phenomenal. I often sense that everybody doesn't quite see it yet. But what we have in our hands is incredible, because think about it. When I look at ACN, you know what I see? I see an energy company. I know how many customers Reliant has. My energy company, PG&E. They have millions upon millions of customers. I know that if I had a fraction of 1% of those customers, it would produce a lifestyle for me and an income level that most people never achieve. I'm not even talking 1%. I'm not even talking 0.1%. I'm talking about 1/100th, if not 1/1000th of a percent. You can't imagine the number, you gotta think about how massive that number is. 100 customers in Houston on average is $9. 100 customers at $9 is $900 a month in income. That's just a simple 100 customers, $900 a month, which translates into $10,000 a year. 3 times that is more money than the average person earns in America. You have to think about the simplicity of what we have. And so somebody would say, yeah, but it's a lot of work. And it's, no. 30, 40 years, me facing for this quote unquote retirement is a lot of work. That to me is a lot of work. So you would say, yeah, but you're talking about 300 customers. Dude, I can do 300 customers in a year, in less than a year. Mr. Thomas just told you guys about somebody that's done 200 already. You got to think about what we have, we can't miss what we have. So think about what we're talking about. You have you got one of the greatest opportunities that exists right now. It cannot be commoditized. So the conversation about robotics and AI, it won't be effective. Employment, it won't. The most valuable skill set on this planet is the ability to sell a product. The ability to create enough value to where you can convince another person to purchase it, to take their money and purchase this thing from me. That is the most powerful skill set that exists today. And any number of people, I'm telling you guys, the wealthiest people on this planet are in marketing and sales. I'm telling you, that's what they do for a living. And you guys found yourself, let me show you where you're at, with one of the best people in the industry, let's be very clear, surrounded by a team of some of the greatest leaders, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Ismail, and all of your, and Miss Driscoll, you're surrounded by some of the greatest people that are already on that path to being top in the industry. And you're connected to these individuals on a daily basis. These are things that I did not have when I was at your stage in life. These are also opportunities that were not available to me at your stage in life. Now, I'm not looking back, and I'm not. I've lived, like I told you in the beginning, I've lived a blessed life. So I'm not considering looking back. I'm looking forward, just like I told you, with that original company. I talk to individuals all the time. Right now, I tell me and my wife laugh about this. And I always, you've heard me talk about being at the base of a mountain, looking at the peak and saying, man, that's where I want to be. And all you got to do is start climbing. You've heard me say that, right? So I'm going to give you a different perspective. So right now, where I find myself is having been at the peak of a mountain and looking. What you do when you get to the peak of a mountain is you look around and you realize that there are new peaks. There are peaks higher than the one that you're currently on. And Mr. Thomas for sure knows exactly what I'm talking about. And this drives us, people who progress, who never are satisfied, who are always pushing and evolving and getting better. I tell people all the time, the only thing you need to do is get better every single day. When you wake up and you go to sleep at the end of that night, you cannot be the same guy you were at night that you were that morning when you woke up. You got to make sure you do that every day. If you do that every day, if the guy that goes to sleep is better than the guy when he woke up, you've progressed every single day. And the key element of progressing is information. And for you guys to have access to this information, these leaders, these people who are living, like I said earlier, who are your trusted advisors, who are living the life that you either desire or have an admiration of, you are already in the right place. So I hope to God, the only thing I really need to do right now is to make sure that I give you something that makes you better than you were when you woke up. And the key to information now is threefold. My favorite book, the Bible, says, in all thy getting. So it's not enough to get information. It says that in all thy getting, not only get the information, get an understanding. Meaning what? That I not only have acquired information, but I understand the information that I have acquired, because only in understanding that information can I apply it, use it to change my behaviors, which then in exchange changes my life. That's the key. How do I change my life? See, new information changes the way I think. And when the way I think changes, it changes the way I act. And when the way I act changes, it creates new behaviors that produce new outcomes. And that is the key. And so most people say, well, what do I need to do? Just get better every day. I just showed you the pathway to how you improve your life. Most people say, nah, I got to know the right person. Well, the only way to get to know the right person is to change the way you think. Because the law of attraction says that the audience that surrounds you is a product of your thoughts. The people that you're around, they're around you because you've attracted them to you. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. I go into juvenile all the time. I haven't been since the pandemic, but prior to the pandemic, I spent a lot of time with young people. And definitely when I go into the juvenile facilities, they'll always say, I got to get away from the people I've been hanging with. No. You have to change the way you think, because the people that were around you because of the way you think. And I always tell them, I says, why would you want to get rid of your friends? Don't you care about these people? I do, but they got me locked up in here. Nah, buddy, you got you locked up in here. So if you want to make a change the way you think, and to give them the opportunity to see where you're changing and to choose to either separate themselves from you. You won't have to get rid of them. They'll get rid of you, or they'll choose to fly with you. And so it's as simple as that. The key solution, the simple solution, is for you to get better every single day. That's it. And so I spend my time. I try not to go to bed the same way I woke up. I try to do that every day. I work to do that every single day. Well, people say, could it really be that simple? It is absolutely that simple. It is truly that simple. Never go to bed the same person you were when you woke up. So what does that mean? So in our industry, most people, they say, I put 5 quarters in my pocket and I won't stop until I move those 5 quarters to the other pocket. Well, that's a change. Same thing. I don't use quarters. I just simply gain new information. In the end, depending on what I'm doing, I will probably get similar results. Why? Because information that I get changes the way I think, which changes the way I act, which changes my behaviors, which produces new outcomes, which attracts new people. And so the people that come around me will be different each time. I switched coffee shops. I told you guys this a few weeks ago. I switched coffee shops. My audience is probably up to 50 new people, probably in 90 days. And when I say audience is up, I'm talking the coffee shop owner came out and says, "Hey, I'm this guy we've been talking to. It looks like he showed up looking for you." Absolutely, it's law of attraction. And long as you rotate, Napoleon Hill called it vibrations. Long as your gravitational pull is at a certain frequency, you will draw people who are at that stage in their life looking to change, and you will repel individuals who don't want to go there. And you'll create the audience around you that you have become. So people say, well, why am I not surrounded by the people that I want to be? Because you're not attracting them. They're not attracted to you. Well, what do I need to do? Become more attractive. It's as simple as that. Well, how do I become more attractive? I just told you, gain the information that causes you to begin thinking different. You'll begin to say different things, and those words will begin to attract different people. You say, but how do I attract them to the opportunity? You never attract them to the opportunity. What do you mean? How do you attract the opportunity? Were you attracted to the opportunity, or were you attracted to Mr. Thomas? And why are you attracted to Mr. Thomas? Because he has certain information that causes him to vibrate and gravitate at a certain level that causes people to be attracted to him. It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. Notice how positive he is all the time. Now, why is he positive? He's positive because what he knows. He goes out among young people, and trust me, this is no play on young people. He goes out among younger people, and they're not as confident as him yet. Why? Because he has experiences, and he has a network of people around him to confirm his thoughts. And because he has that, it gives him a confidence, and people who rotate with confidence attract people. I assure you, when you're rotating positively, confidently, people are attracted to that. Why? Because they don't know within themselves how to get that, because they don't feel it themselves. So you're the confidence that they don't yet have. And so you're giving that to him, and that's what he did. So why are there almost 100 people on this call? Because this young man has a confidence. Why am I even on this call? Why am I calling him? Think about it. Why am I calling him? I'm calling him. Why? Because I need to be able to talk to people who are not guessing the things they say. They know the stuff they're talking about. I was telling you about the peaks. When you get to a peak, those of us who are progressive never are satisfied. And I know that among you guys right now. You don't even have to say it to me. I'm looking at you guys here. Many of you I've seen before. You're only here because you're not satisfied. Many of you have already experienced a tremendous success. And my hat's off to you, because I'm gonna tell you, I wish I was you when I was your ages. And now some of you may be close to my age, but even now, you have mentors and you're surrounded by just incredible people, and you're really committing. Mr. Thomas is watching people who are going, and I'm going to be watching people who are accelerating their lives. You're accelerating because you're buying in and listening to individuals who have experiences and who can be trusted. Many of us didn't have that, or were too dumb to really and truly. That's why I always open up and say, man, it's as much a privilege to be hanging out with you guys as you may think it is for me, because this is brilliant for you to be doing this. I'm telling you, to be connected, consistent. So for me, I've even told you this before in the past, I never really get nervous about competition, because competition mostly, they struggle with the two things that can't be beat. They don't commit, and they're not consistent. So you can be ahead of me, you can be faster than me. I don't care about that. The key is most of you won't commit, and most of you won't be consistent. I'm going to eventually beat you. I'm just gonna tell you point blank. That's how people get nervous. Right, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I'm working with a young aggressive man, and he's doing really well. And I'm in the market in an options trade right now that has gone against me. And he was in this morning. He texted me and he got out, and I'm like, why'd you get out? Well, no, a gentleman that had sent us some numbers told me that we're already at the peak. I says, but no. Are you studying the trends? Have you gotten the information and the data necessary to get out? And he was like, no. He just told me to get out, so I got out. Now, let me tell you a previous story on this gentleman. He was in the market a couple of weeks ago. And he had, how many did he have? 1,000 shares, or I'm just going to give you the number. And we're in the same stock that he was in then. And he got out and made $16. And the next day, it yielded what would have been 8 times, would have paid him $200,000 in a day. Now, but he got out too early. So he's partnered with us. He did it again today, and he got out, but he did get out at a loss. But he got a small before he took the time to study, and I talked to my partner this morning. I says, hey, T, he's gonna have to observe us do it to learn. He's gonna have to see us do it. And after he sees us do it, then he'll get it. And because we're poised now to have a massive gain on this trade. This is the power of being surrounded by people you can trust. They make all the difference. Back to the peak. And I'm going to wrap up after this. When you're at a peak and you'll see other peaks. Only way to see other peaks is to be at a peak. But to get to another peak requires that we go back into the valley. And that's the challenge with most. Once we get to a peak, Jim Collins says good is the enemy of great. And one peak, we're good. And we look at another peak and we see it. But I'm gonna speak personally, but I'm 56 years old. I've been married 33 years. I can be comfortable right now. And these are the words that just kill me, comfortable. I'm 56 years old. What does any of that mean? I've been married 33 years. This stuff is meaningless. Now, no, don't get me wrong. Let me be very clear. Let me correct. Being married 33 years is because she's not in here. She's in there. What are you saying? But my point is, we begin to rehearse in our mind all of those things that keep us from progressing. We have to avoid those things. If you're breathing, you should be growing. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. You never want. So words that I avoid, I will never retire. I don't know what that is other than that the word means death. Yeah, retire means, the translation is to die. So, and statistically speaking, many people do in their retirement. They prepare. It's almost like preparation for death. So I'm never going to retire. How do you retire from something you love doing? Many of you are on a path. Almost all of you are on a path toward major success. The next stage of this is to be doing the very thing Mr. Thomas is doing, helping other people see just like what you saw. Why would you retire from that? And then along with that, as you're continuing to develop and pour into other people's lives, you have to keep growing. Because it's natural for you to keep growing because you're continuing to improve and invest in other people. So why would you stop doing that? Because that's just a natural thing. So how does Mr. Thomas retire? How could he possibly retire? What would he be retired from? Doing what he loves? How is he going to retire from that? Absolutely. So this path that you're on is, and you know what? I tell you guys all the time, if you wanted to ask me a ton of questions about this industry, about this opportunity, most people are not comfortable to be able to answer, but I could answer any number of questions about where you are and what you're doing. Why? Because I'm here very deliberately, because I see very clearly the opportunity. This opportunity with ACN is massive. It is massive, but it takes you mastering the craft. But because the truth be told, and Mr. Thomas already knows this, Mr. Thomas, even at his current level, he knows he's just getting started. He's just at the tipping point. I'm going to end right there because I don't want to overstay my welcome. But for those of you who are in the valley, just start climbing. For those of you who are on the peak, look around for new peaks. Have the courage to go back down into the valley, because all the valley is you learning, growing, getting better. Find yourself the new set of mentors, your new mastermind group. Surround yourself by that mastermind group. Grow every single day. Gain a new piece of information every day and begin to climb that new mountain. It'll be worth it, because all you're going to do is get there, see your next peaks. All right, that's it, guys. Any questions, comments?
Wow.
I'm open.
Wow. Hey, Mr. Williams, thank you. Trusted advisor, guys, number one. Trusted advisor, somebody who's already done it, like a guide, a coach who's already been there. It's like taking a vacation, going to Africa and going to go out in the jungle, you're going to get killed. But where's your guide at? You got to have a guide who's already knows the tricks and where to go. Oh, trust accelerates everything, number two. Lord have mercy. Get better every day. The night you go to bed, you should wake up tomorrow morning better than you went to bed. I like that one. And I noticed Miss Ismail threw up there, remember the one that he said a while back, where jets don't have rear view mirrors. I love that one. So I'm like, jets no, because we're going one way and we're going fast. I love it. Hey, folks, can we show Mr. Williams some love? Come on, let's show him some love. Let's show him some love. Let's show him some love. You know, I want to thank you, Mr. Williams, once again for an inspirational synopsis of how to look at our business and how beautiful our business is, how it can't be deleted. It can't, AI can't take it over. Robotics can't take it over. Here again, to giving people a sense of the value of what they have, it really helps people get into their spirit. You guys got to go at it more hard and faster than you ever gone at it before. Like I said, I'm not the handsome guy. I'm not the youngest, but I'll outwork you. Yeah, I'll outwork you. You know why? Because that's just who I am. I'll outwork you. I double dare you. See, by outworking me, I have to trick you into making big money. So I double, triple dare you go outwork me. And he'll tell you man, he hit the nail around the head again today. Come on, let's show him some more love. Come on, y'all. Let me flip through here. Let me flip through here. Hey, there you go. There you go. Come on. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Mr. Bill Howard, give it up. Mr. Daryl Ranch, give it up. Mr. Payon in Japan, thank you so much. Mr. Mathis is a brand new IBO, sir. Good morning out in Oakland, California. Thank you. Oh, Fresno, I'm sorry. Fresno, a brand new IBO just signed up, and he's part of the Ethiopian community. Several churches he's over, and a lot of things we're going to be looking for. He's going to be our next superstar. I love this gentleman. We had a great talk last night. Thank you, sir. Looking forward to working with you. Keep up the good work, Mr. Lance Wittenberg. What a superstar. Hey, I want to thank Mr. Isaiah, who got him all in the business. Mr. Ismail, good morning. Good seeing you so much. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Mr. Tim, thank you so much. Miss Martinez out there in Iowa. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, listen, let's show Mr. Williams one more time a little bit more love, because he gave us, man, that was, I took page after page after page after page of notes, and that was powerful. So I'm going to say publicly, while I got you on the call, Mr. Williams, haven't cut you loose. I know you're already going to say yes, but I'm looking at October the 6th. Of having you come back. October the 6th.
Thomas, I'm gonna tell you something. Anytime you need me to do anything, all you gotta do is ask.
Yes, sir. I know I got you in the schedule for October 6th. Everybody, write it down in your appointment book, write in your schedule, take it on your phone, whatever you gotta do. October the 6th, Mr. Dwight Williams, entrepreneur extraordinaire, AC and IBO, will be back with us October the 6th. So write that down and get all your whole group on there. And if you missed this, get your group to go to Destiny International and re-look at it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And don't forget, next Monday at 6 o'clock, we're going to start our what? We're going to start our power hour. And tonight at 6 o'clock, right here, a 1 to 10, we'll be doing a 1 to 10 tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Coast time. Get your friends, get your guests, get your enemies. We'll make them a friend, but get them on there tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. right back here. We're going to be doing a 1 through 10 tonight at 1.
Did we lose him?